News from Australia, brought to you by John Royal. Today's communique from General Headquarters reports that one enemy plane was shot down when two Zero fighters attempted to intercept an Allied reconnaissance at Lae in New Guinea. The entire damage to property in Sydney through the submarine raid on Sunday night has been assessed at only a few $100. Fewer than 20 homes were damaged. The damage to only 5 of these will cost more than $15 to repair. War damage insurance of buildings is compulsory in Australia. Claims for damage to houses in the Sydney shillings are being referred to the War Damage Commission. Full naval honours were paid at the funeral today of the 4 unknown Japanese sailors killed in the submarine attack on Sydney Harbour. Rear Admiral Muirhead Gould and other high naval officers were present at the ceremony in a Sydney crematorium chapel. The ashes will be placed in urns and sent to the Swiss Consul General, who will decide how and when the ashes will be sent to Japan. The Swiss Consul General was present at the cremation. Prime Minister John Churchill last night warned Australians that the recent Japanese attacks on shipping and objectives along our east coast were but a foretaste of things to come. The Australian government, he said, was under no illusion. It knew that there was more to come and that what would follow would leave lasting scars on our soil and our people. Mr. Cousin was speaking at a Liberty Loan rally. He said that by June 1st, our total expenditure on war would reach $1,770 million. We would budget for another $1,300 million in the year beginning July 1st. This money would be spent not only on all things needed for our safety, but so that we could, as a nation, worthily play our part in seeking out enemy targets. In New Caledonia, perhaps more than anywhere else in the Pacific, America is giving the lie direct to fears that the Allies might be regarding the Japanese menace in this part of the world as a sideshow. Official war correspondent Ian Fitchett says this in a dispatch today from this Allied base. New Caledonia, he says, is rapidly being transformed into a huge island fortress. From their automatic rifles to their artillery, the American troops are equipped with the best of modern weapons of war. Fitchett continues, quote, "The importance of New Caledonia to Australian defense needs no stretching. Whoever holds it holds the key to our vital lifeline. Modern bombers can span the waters between New Caledonia and Australia in a few hours. But the island is of more than strategic importance. It is rich in minerals. From its mines come vital supplies of nickel and chrome. To Japan, it would be a prize beyond reckoning. To the presence of Americans in New Caledonia, Australia owes the deepest debt of gratitude. Under the stars and stripes and the cross of Lorraine, our shores, and more important, our very lifelines are being protected. Japan has struck far to the south, but the strongest impression one gains here is that the stop has been called and called to some order." Unquote. It's just a year since the men of an Australian division in the Middle East crossed the frontier between Syria and Palestine and opened battle in that area. Today, the Australians are still in Syria and Lebanon, not the same Australians, but troops with an equally proud record, the veterans who made history in the besieged fortress of Tobruk. Official war correspondent Kenneth Slessor says there was some disappointment among those men when they realized they were not to return to Australia with the other AIF units. They knew, however, that they still had a big job to do in the Middle East. They have used time well in the lull since they left Tobruk. Training has been intensive and has brought the men to the highest pitch of military and physical efficiency. Further awards of the Silver Star to United States Airmen are announced by General Headquarters today. Captain Andrew J. Reynolds received the award for skill, leadership, and courage in an aerial battle. On April 11th, Captain Reynolds led a flight of 4 P-40s over Darwin against a formation of 7 enemy bombers escorted by 7 Zero fighters. In the combat, Captain Reynolds shot down 2 Japanese planes and damaged another. Silver Stars are awarded to Major Ronald D. Hubbard, First Lieutenant Henry J. Rose, Second Lieutenant Theodore Arthur III, ARTER, Technical Sergeant Kirby W. Neal, Staff Sergeant Cedric A. Baumgartner, Sergeant Dallas W. McGill and Private Oscar C. Biddle. The men formed a combat crew which carried out a lone bombing mission through heavy anti-aircraft fire and despite attacks by a number of enemy planes. Another group of airmen received the award for an extraordinary achievement in photographing Japanese bases on islands north of Australia on reconnaissance missions. These men are Second Lieutenant Charles L. Richards, Technical Sergeant Robert L. Barlow, Sergeant James A. Carter, Sergeant Albert C. Nichols, and Corporal Richard L. Wallace. The Silver Star is also awarded to Second Lieutenant William L. Railings, Master Sergeant John O. Fleming, PFC Paul A. Remer, R-E-I-M-E-R, and PFC John E. Makila, M-A-K-E-L-A. These airmen formed the combat crew of a flying fortress which became separated from its formation in an attack against Japanese transport and warships at Luzon in the Philippines. The fortress completed a successful bombing run and was then attacked by 6 Japanese pursuit planes. In the combat, 3 of the attacking planes were shot down. Enemy machine gun fire disabled 2 of the engines of the fortress, and the gunners had of the engines of the fortress, and the gunners had of the engines of the fortress, and the gunners had of the engines of the fortress, and the gunners had to fight off repeated attacks while the pilot carried out a successful fast landing. Sergeant Vincenzo Spaziano, S-P-A-Z-I-A-N-O, and PFC John A. Roper, R-E-S-L, received the Silver Star for their courage and devotion to duty as air gunners in a bombing raid on an airfield at Davao in the Philippines. In a bombing run, an engine of their plane was damaged. They were attacked by 10 enemy pursuit planes. The 2 gunners warded off enemy attacks for more than 20 minutes, enabling the plane to return to its base. That is the end of the news from Australia.